have a request. I would like for somebody on the Houston Texans to stop. The Texans lost to the Bucs on Monday. The game is over. Can we accept that and move on? CJ Gardner-Johnson? You might have remembered in the midst of Monday Night Football, a play where Baker scrambles for a first down. He gets up limping. CJ Gardner-Johnson got in his face. And Baker seemed invigorated to the point that the ankle injury no longer mattered. Talked some shit back and went back to the huddle. He is incredibly likable to me, someone who did not go to Texas, someone who did not hate Oklahoma. There's a spunk to Baker Mayfield, a feistiness to Baker Mayfield that every guy who maybe isn't the tallest appreciates. As someone who is not really 6 feet tall, but it does say that on my license, I've always had an appreciation for his grit. I think he's funny. And I don't understand why CJ Gardner-Johnson is going to continue to talk shit in that spot. I know the two don't like each other. CJ Gardner-Johnson started it. He said that the Bucs are Baker Mayfield away from being a contender, brought up who Mayfield's working with. Mayfield brought up that CJ Gardner-Johnson didn't know who was on the Bucs roster and snarkily said, maybe you should watch film. Baker Mayfield was responded to by CJ Gardner-Johnson on social media, on his Instagram Live. You had the exchange in the game. For what it's worth, after the game, CJ Gardner-Johnson tipped his hat. Baker Mayfield rolled his eyes talking about my friend Chauncey. You would think it's done. Everyone should just move on. But Baker Mayfield posted this picture to social media. A picture of Mayfield and CJ Gardner-Johnson in that confrontation Monday night. Quote, built different, 10 toes down. For some reason, CJ Gardner-Johnson responded. I don't get why he did. Boy, this cute, but still ringless. Hey, CJ Gardner-Johnson, I think of you as a very high-level shit talker. If you do have to keep talking shit, can we at the very least get some comeback material that isn't what we hear from Yankees fans? Post 2001 Yankees fans, one World Series since 2001 Yankees fans, blew it with the chance to do it for their city after September 11th. Yankees fans blew a series against a team with no money in the Miami Marlins. Yankees fans blew a 3-0 series lead against the Red Sox in 2004. Yankees fans, can we please have better arguments in response if we must talk shit than pointing at the fact that you've won a Super Bowl when Baker Mayfield hasn't? Hey, CJ, I get that you're technically a defending Super Bowl champion, but you no longer play for the defending Super Bowl champions. Pointing at the ring after this guy punked you in your own building and your team is now 0-2 by saying still ringless is such a bullshit response. It's pathetic and it's sad. And I said this earlier this week. I like CJ Gardner-Johnson a lot. I find him to be funny. I like that he actually says what's on his mind, but there's nothing worse than someone who talks shit when they've lost. I say this as somebody who every now and then I'll play flag football on Saturday. There is this one guy that regularly comes out there. He wears an Oregon shirt. My friend Andrew would be able to tell me who he is. I'm going to have to ask. And this guy could be good, but his hands are garbage. And he'll talk shit all game long, even when he's making drops and some more drops. And I hate it when somebody talks after they lost. Every single time I hear someone talk after they lost, I go to this quote from the movie Gladiator. Because it's an important moment. Shout out to, by the way, the character in this movie who, who sets this up. There's this like barbarian dude who gets up on a hill. He goes, it's badass, right? But to quote Quintus from Gladiator, when people have lost, stop talking shit. Wait, you know what? I got to figure out. It would be nice to have someone that could help me with the execution of this. But I don't have money to do that. You got to do it on your own. Here is Quintus.
People should know when they're conquered.
Boom! That's all. People should know when they're conquered. CJ, you got conquered. Doesn't matter if you won a Super Bowl and Baker Mayfield hasn't, you know? I'm looking something up. We're going to stay with Rome for a moment. It would be like winning a couple of battles in the Punic Wars. You know, it's like Carthage. Hey, Carthage did some pretty cool shit during the Punic Wars against the Romans, but they lost. They kept on fighting. They lost. So imagine Hannibal after, invading Italy and just like absolutely ravaging the Roman countryside and winning some impressive battles. Imagine after the war was over, he's still talking a little bit of shit. Because even though he had all those victories, ultimately he lost it. I suppose, winning a Super Bowl is like winning a war entirely. So maybe this reference isn't great. All I'm saying is CJ Gardner-Johnson, zip it. I don't want it after you lose. No one wants it after you lose. Okay? Anyway. Fuck off with that. And I like CJ Gardner-Johnson. I say that as somebody who might have to interact with him in the locker room from time to time. Okay? Okay.